Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Hey guys, welcome to Vlogmas Day 9. Today will be a cook chili with me video. It is a cold, rainy day here in Michigan, so I am going to share with you guys how I cook chili. First, I'm going to start by cutting up my celery. I do like mine's a bit chunky, but you can cut them up in smaller pieces if you choose to. But I like to actually taste my vegetables in my chili. That's the first step. I'm going to cut up my red peppers, and it's going to pretty much be the same way that I did the celery. I like chunky vegetables, so that's what I do. Next, I'm going to do the same thing with the green peppers. You can use any vegetable of your choice. These are the main vegetables that I pretty much use when I cook chili, but you can add and take from whatever you don't like. Next, I'm going to do the same with the onion as well. I did have an onion and a half, but you can use less or more if you choose to. Next, I'm going to open up all my canned goods with it, which is my chili beans, my tomatoes, my tomato paste. Some people put corn. This time I did not put corn, but you can do whatever you want to. Then I'm going to prep my skillet for the meat, and as you can see, I put a little bit of olive oil into my pot that I'm going to cook my meat in. Then I swish it around to evenly coat the bottom. Then I add my ground turkey. I used about a pound, about 3 pounds, maybe a little more, but you can use ground beef if you choose to. I use ground turkey. Now I'm going to break it up just a little before I add my seasonings. Now I'm adding my seasonings of my choice. You can use seasoning salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, celery flakes, whatever you want. This is just what I use. These are the basics. Then I just go ahead and evenly coat and mix in the seasonings as well. What I did not show you guys off video is that I did add a little more seasoning because ground turkey is a bit, on the side where you got to add an extra seasoning to it. But hey, that's just what I do. Now that I cooked the meat a little bit, I am going to go ahead and add my fresh veggies that you saw me cut up earlier. And I'm going to mix that in, evenly and let it cook a little bit. You don't have to do it this way. You can cook the meat and the vegetables together. However, I like to cook mine while my meat is pretty much a little bit done. So I cook the meat a little bit first, and then I go ahead and add my vegetables. That's just a preference because I don't want my fresh veggies to be overcooked. But hey, to each his own. You can do whatever you choose to, whatever you want, how you want it. This is just how I typically cook mine. I did let it cook and simmer a little bit, and every time it, I did go back and check it occasionally, so I just kept, stirring it to make sure I did cook the vegetables thoroughly and let them cook a little bit so they won't be super crunchy or super hard. So after that, I did cover it with the lid to let it cook a little more. You can omit this part too, but I did not omit this part. I just did it like this, and I went with the flow. So you know what? Hey, it is what it is. You do it how you want to, and that's that. There's no right or no wrong way. This is just how I cook mine. So now I'm going to add all my canned vegetables. I do not drain my beans. I use the beans and all the ingredients right out the can because I use chili beans that already have like the chili sauce in it and all that type of stuff. I do know some people who use just plain pinto beans that doesn't have anything on it and drain their beans and rinse it. I don't do that. So again, it's all about your choice. It's all about your preference. It's what you want to do and how you want to do it. As you can see, I am mixing it in so I can see if I need more beans or not. In this case, I don't. I believe I used 2 or 3 cans, but you can use as many cans as you want. I then add my tomatoes. They're diced tomatoes. I did use 2 cans of diced tomatoes when I made mine because I'm making a super big pot of chili. But you can use 1 can, and you can omit the tomatoes if you don't want the tomatoes, but we like tomatoes in ours. Now I'm going to add the seasoning packets. This I'm going to add is called Chilio. You can find them at Walmart or any local grocery store. I did use 2 packs of each season I'm showing you. Now I'm going to add plain chili powder, which is also in a package. Once again, as I told you, I did use 2 packages of each, and here's my special touch: sloppy Joe mix. Yes, you guys, I said sloppy Joe mix. I put 2 packets of the sloppy Joe mix in there as well. Y'all, you can make it chili however you want to, spruce it up, kick it up, add whatever you want to. This is something that we do in my household because the sloppy Joe mix, I don't know what it is about it. It just changes the whole game when it comes to making chili. I even watch some vlogs where some people use Italian dressing. And I haven't tried that one yet, but I'm not going to knock it till I try it because it might actually be pretty good. But for the most part, this is what I do with mine. And I use 2 packages of each at a minimum. Sometimes I may add more, sometimes I may not. Hey, it's just all about choice and flavor, of course. Then I'm going to add the water. I don't measure anything, so I just use the packets of seasoning that I use and fill them up with water, and use that to dump water into the mixture. And I use each pack that I open. I filled each one of those up with the water and just use that to give me my water ratio. Sorry you guys, I don't really have measurements. I don't measure nothing. I just play stuff by eye and by taste. But hey. So here I'm just mixing everything up very well so I can have all my seasonings blended into my chili mix. Then guess what? I add more chili powder. I always use loose chili powder like this because I feel it gives me the color that I'm looking for. It does enhance the flavor as well, but I think it gives me more of that red chili color that I like. And yeah, I think it does enhances the flavor. So yes, I did add sugar as well. It's about a teaspoon, maybe a tablespoon, but you don't have to use a lot. You don't even have to use sugar if you don't want to. But I add just a little sugar because I think it takes away the little bit of tartness that may comes from the tomato sauce and all the other stuff that's in there, as well as break down some of the acidicness that's in the chili. But you don't have to put sugar in it. Okay, y'all can say yuck if y'all want to, but hey, that's how I do mine. Oops, y'all saw the top fall in there. My bad. And I did add a little more chili powder. This is at your discretion of however much seasoning you want to put in your foods. I like to use a lot when I make chili, so sorry. So I'm going to cover it and let it just simmer. Then here I added tomato paste. And I use the tomato paste to thicken up the base of the chili so it won't be so watery and so loose. Some people don't use chili paste. Tomato paste. Some people do. I don't use a full can, so a small can will suffice. But I didn't have a small can, so I used the can that I already had because I wasn't going to the store to buy any more. So I'm going to stir that tomato paste up until it breaks up evenly, so I won't have chunks of tomato paste just sitting there. And I'm just going to keep, doing that until the tomato paste has, diluted and broken up evenly into my chili. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to let it simmer for, I'll probably let it simmer for about 5 minutes, but you don't want to let it just simmer and just sit there. You want to keep stirring it because you can scorch your chili. It can burn because tomato paste, once again, does make the base thick. So when things begin to thicken, it does tend to stick, but you have to keep an eye on it. But I do let it simmer because I think that's what gives it its flavor and whatnot. As you can tell, some of it is already gone because I'm not gonna explain that. But here is the final product, you guys. I did pair it with cornbread. You don't have to pair it with cornbread, but you can. And this is the final product. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video as much as I enjoy making it. Go home and try this chili. If you like it, let me know. Give me a thumbs up and just let me know how I did. Until the next video, you guys. Good night.
Good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling.